everybody. Thank you for meeting me on the mat 2 hours early today. If you weren't able to get up this early and attend, you can watch this video anytime, whenever you want. It's a lot colder here this morning, this early. We've got Eliza joining us again today. Today's class we're going to be stretching our lower back, our hamstrings and our hips. It's to help with sciatica, to avoid sciatica, just to help stretch out if we have any pain from our lower backs wrapping around and down our legs. So if you don't suffer from sciatica, this is also just a really nice class to just do some stretching. If you attended my class 2 days ago, this is like the polar opposite of that class. Were you sore? My pecs were a little bit sore the next day. Well, get ourselves started. Who have we got this morning? Tanya. Hi Tanya. Beautiful girl, I hope you're doing well. Going to start on our backs. We're just going to roll on down and take a full body stretch, pointing our toes down to the wall, our arms up and over, reaching tall. Feeling your body lengthen. Maybe we've just rolled out of bed. I'm going to slowly wake up the body. Taking our arms out to the side now. We're going to engage our core, our mula bandha, and lift our legs up to tabletop. A nice 90-degree angle here from our knees and our feet. We're going to slowly on our exhale drop our legs to the right. Stretching now through our lower back, trying to keep our shoulder blades on the ground. Taking your gaze over to the left fingertips. We're going to take an inhale and we're going to take that left arm up above our head. Our gaze is going to look to the ceiling and we're going to keep flowing that arm around until we're laying on our side and our palms are together. Take an inhale, we're opening back up, arm draws a circle on the ground, fingertips above the head, and then we open back up. Exhale, our gaze is back over our left fingers. Inhale, flowing that left arm up and over. Gaze to the ceiling. Then we come back around, laying on our side. Exhale. Inhale, arms up to the sky, up to the wall above your head. Opening out into our stretch. Take your right hand to the top of your left knee and just pull yourself into that stretch a little deeper. Take a few breaths here. Your right arm back out to the side, mula bandha engaged, and bring your legs back up to tabletop. We'll do that to the left. Exhale, slowly drop the legs to the left. Take a breath here, feeling that stretch. Inhale, scoop that right hand up so it's above your head. Exhale, take it all the way over until your palms are together. Inhale, opening back up, tracing your fingers in a half circle up above your head. Exhale, out to the side. Take your gaze over the right fingers. Inhale, back up to the center, sliding your fingertips along the ground. Exhale, onto your side. Inhale, releasing our hands up above, looking at the ceiling. Exhale, opening out to the side. Taking your left hand to the outside of your right knee, pulling yourself into that side stretch a little more. Pushing that left shoulder forward, right shoulder into the ground, so that our chest is open and flat. Looking out over those right fingertips for more of a stretch. Take a deep breath. Belly button to spine, lifting your legs back up to center, nice and strong. Hugging the knees into the chest. You can rock side to side or make some circles or bring your head, neck and shoulders up, whatever stretch you feel like doing. We're just going to gently rock ourselves once so we're back sitting on our bottoms. Take a moment now to set an intention for our class, maybe an intention we'd like to take out into the day with us. So sitting nice and tall, you can have your hands in prayer, resting on your legs in your lap, or one hand on your heart, one on your belly, whatever you feel today. Just close down your eyes and set an intention. There's no limits to what this intention can be. It can just be for your yoga practice. It can be for the rest of the day, the rest of the week. It can be a mantra that you've been repeating lately or an affirmation that you're following. A new goal you've just set for yourself. Setting our intention for the day. Up to the sky, bringing the right foot in towards your body and the left foot flat in front. We're just going to take a forward fold. So reaching tall, exhale, slowly bending from the hips, walking yourself forward, taking that nice stretch down the back of our glutes, our hips and our thighs. Resting your head on the earth. Breathing deeply and feeling your rib cage expand. The skin on your back expanding, getting tight. And exhaling out any tension or pain that we may have. Our lower back or our hips. Inhale, slowly walking ourselves back up. Now swap our legs over. Sitting tall again, arms up to the sky. Shoulders away from ears. Feeling our vertebrae separate as we lift tall. And we lower down, tilting from the hips. Feeling the difference in our hips, one side to the other. Just acknowledging where we're at today. With no judgment, just with kindness. Breathing deep. ourselves up nice and slow. We're going to stick our right leg out long. Our left leg is going to come up and over. We want to see if we can get our knee on top of our knee. So stacking up there. If you're finding this is a bit difficult and your hips aren't both level on the ground, you can put a cushion just slightly under that hip if it's raised, just so you've got them grounded. Our right foot is flexed, nice and active, feeling that through the shin. And we're going to lift up and we're going to come over again. So keeping that right foot flexed. Walk yourself out. Once your fingers touch the ground, see how far you can go out. This is quite an intense stretch with our left leg crossed over. Just breathing, allowing your breath to take you deeper and deeper with every exhale. Just let yourself hang. Do a little scan in your hips. Are you holding in your hip flexors? Let them go. Are you holding in your face or in your jaw? Relaxing your thighs, your calves. One more inhale and exhale. Allow yourself to fall. And push yourself back up. Gently swapping our legs over now. Left leg out long, foot flexed. Right foot comes up and over. Trying to put our knees on top of each other. Finding your positioning, feeling both your hip bones, your sits bones connected to the earth. Lifting up tall, finding length. And exhale, bring yourself forward. Breathing deeply into this stretch, allowing gravity to take your body forward. Are you gripping in your hips? I just noticed I was, and so I've actively released there. Are you gripping in your thighs or your knees? Are you gritting your teeth or frowning? Just relax. Feel this stretch all the way from my Achilles. I can feel it heating up and burning behind my knee, down the outside of my thigh. It's a really deep stretch, perfect for anyone suffering from sciatica or any lower back pain. One more breath here. Inhale. Let yourself go just a little bit more. Walking yourself back up on your next inhale. Leaning back now onto our palms. You turn your fingers all the way to face the back. So our wrists are facing towards the front. We're just going to bend our knees. So sitting long here. Walk your hands out far behind you. So you might want to move your bum forward, but as far as you can walk your hands out, you'll feel a big stretch here. You'll feel maybe your shoulder blades are hitting each other behind you and they can't go anymore. That's where you'll stop. We're going to lift the right leg up and sit it on top of the left leg, making a little triangle. So if you can't walk your hands back any further, try and scoot your bum forward, find that deep stretch in your arms. From here, we're going to try and open up our chest, look up to the sky and push our right knee away. So you're just finding that external rotation in your hip. To get your shoulders crunching up to your ears here, we're pushing away with our arms, actively engaging our glute on the right side and pushing our knee away, turning out from our hip. Taking one more breath here. push it away a little bit more. We're going to swap legs. Gently release the right leg, left leg up and over, keeping our hands and our hips where they are, still stretching the front of our arms. Looking up to the sky, chest open, pushing that left knee away. So try not to wiggle yourself around with your hips and your torso. Keep them nice and strong and sturdy in the center of our body. Just using our leg muscles to push us away, supporting ourselves with our hands and our arms. One more breath in. Exhale. Releasing the legs, bringing yourself back up slowly. Let your arms drag, come back in front of you. Just give yourself a little shoulder roll. It's a nice big stretch for our arms. You might want to interlace your fingers, twist your wrists and just stretch forward. Feeling your scapula separate. Maybe wrap your hands underneath your legs and just arch from your chest, pulling yourself back. Drop your head down, stretching the upper back body. Awesome, lowering down now with control, nice and slow, keeping our legs bent. We're going to take that same stretch, picking up the right leg, putting your ankle on top of your left knee, finding that triangle. We're going to swoop our arms through, this time letting our left leg bend completely. We're grabbing the front of our knee. So pulling that right foot in as close as you can to your body, letting that left leg just relax and hang. So our right arm is looping through that little triangle, our left arm is on the outside, and we're gripping ourselves on the top of our shin. You can use your right elbow to push that right knee further away from the body, using your hands to pull in that right foot. Breathing deep, feeling that stretch. Keep in mind, if you're in a lot of pain or if any of these positions are hurting you too much, just back off them a little bit. Just find your edge. I'm going to release and swap sides. Left leg comes to sit on top of the right. Bringing our arms through, relaxing that right leg and gripping on the upper shin. Pushing away the left elbow, left knee. Pulling that foot into your chest. Sciatica can be a very painful situation to live with, and stretching, daily stretching is the best thing for it, but we don't want to hurt ourselves. We don't want to overexert those muscles that are, showing us their pain or the inflammation. So be gentle with your stretches if you're in a lot of pain. We don't want to overdo it. Inhale, exhale, release. We're going to straighten out the left leg, keeping the right leg bent, pulling that knee into the chest. Try not to let that knee fall out so that it's towards your armpit. We want to keep it reaching up towards our shoulder. So on top of our body. Gripping only with the left hand now, right hand out long. We're going to take ourselves gently to the side, supine twist. So finding your edge, try to keep our shoulders on the ground, taking your gaze over the right fingers. If this is a bit too much for your back, bring in some cushions and you can rest them under that knee, so that gravity isn't pulling you too much. You're in control of where that stretch goes. Otherwise, just breathe here. Both hands grabbing that knee again, pulling it up towards your shoulder. And release, swapping legs. Left leg comes up. Give it a nice little pull. Keep it on top of your body. Right arm gripping to the outside of the left knee, left arm out long. Slowly take ourselves to the right. You may need to move your hips if you'd like to. Taking your gaze over that left hand. Putting some cushions under that left knee if you're feeling a bit too strained. Otherwise, just breathe. Try not to grip in our face, neck or jaw. Breathing deep. And on your next inhale, bringing yourself back up. Both hands pulling that knee once more into your shoulder. And we're going to bring the other leg up to meet the left. So take yourself into a little ball. Just rock side to side. Our legs are going to shoot up to the sky. You might want to lift up your tailbone, just float yourself up and feel that your lower back is flush to the earth. You can have your feet pointed or flexed, whatever's easiest for you. But we want to feel that there's no gap. We shouldn't be able to put our fingers or our hand under our lower back. If you aren't able to flatten your lower back, just bring in your little cushion and just put it under your tailbone just to lift yourself up and feeling your back flush to the earth. Hands down by your side, palms on the earth, spread your fingers wide. This is what we're going to use to ground ourselves here. We're going to drop one leg and then the other. Nice and slow. Starting with the right leg, we're going down. We're just going to not put our foot on the ground, just touch with your heel, a nice little tap, and then we come back up. Left leg. So the slower the better here. We feel that in our lower abdominals. And we're trying to keep our upper body completely relaxed. So mula bandha engaged, belly button to spine, holding strong here through our hips and our core. Shoulders, chest, neck, face, everything up there should be completely relaxed. Today and you want to try something a little bit harder, we can do some double leg lifts. Otherwise, if you're happy just doing one leg and then the other, continue with that. Trying to keep our upper body completely relaxed. Hip just cracked. Finishing off where you're at now, both legs or your double leg lift. Meeting ourselves back in the top, feeling our lower back flush to the earth. Hug your knees in. Lift your head, neck and shoulders up and just find your little ball. Shoot your arms and legs out long now, relax your head down, full body stretch, stretching your abdominals now. You can arch your lower back, find that stretch through your belly and the front of your hips. Beautiful. We're going to rock ourselves up to standing now. So, pulling your knees in, you might want to lift your bum off the ground once, get yourself enough momentum to come on up. We're going to do that a few more times, so lowering down to the ground nice and slowly. We don't want to plonk ourselves down with our bottoms. We see if we can do it with control. So So lowering down, see if we can get our bums, rock on back, and up to standing with control. You may need to rock back and forth a few more times, that's okay. Especially if it feels nice on your spine, you can rock a few more times. Up to standing. Very good. Now we're just having fun. Beautiful. Take a full body stretch up here. Arms up to the sky, looking up. Exhale, forward fold. So just find length in your back of your neck. You can interlace your arms, just hang. Let gravity do its thing. Placing our hands on the ground, now we're going to walk our feet just out a little bit, turning our toes out to the side, so you might want to just let your little toes fall off the yoga mat. We're going to take ourselves down into our yogic squat, so slowly bending knees out to the side. Finding your squat for today, you might want to wiggle around just for a minute or two if your hips are feeling a little bit tight. Otherwise, if you're feeling good, then find your stillness. Bringing your hands to your heart in prayer, using your elbows to push your knees out. Dropping our tailbone down to the earth. You may want to just close your eyes for a moment here again and think of that intention you set at the beginning of the class. Set it again for yourself as if it is a mantra for your day. Inhale, exhale, planting our hands on the ground, straightening our legs, now walking our feet back into our forward fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift, find length. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, we're opening up to the sky, arms come up. Bring our hands into prayer, exhale. Inhale, root to rise, arms back up to the sky. Swan dive now, forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. Exhale, forward fold. From here we're going to step our left foot back. We're finding a high lunge. So hands to the ground if you need to. Otherwise you can put your hands on your hips or up to the sky. Wherever you feel that you're up to in your practice today, taking a high lunge. Trying to see here, our hips, are both of them, imagine they're like headlights. Are they facing the front? Are they completely parallel? Or is one maybe off to the side? See if we can push that left hip forward, pulling that right hip back, using our adductors, the inside of our legs, to push against each other, finding our nice and strong high lunge. Take an inhale, you might want to do a slight back bend if you're not having too much pain today. Exhale, we're dropping down to the ground, our left hand coming to be beside our foot, and we're opening up to the right. If you're able, look up towards your top fingers, your right fingers. If that's a bit too much for your neck, you can look at the ground or to the side wall. Take another inhale. Bringing ourselves back down to frame our foot. So you might want to just rock back and forward a little bit here. We're going to straighten, maybe inch forward that left foot. We're going to straighten that right leg and take forward fold here. So straightening out both legs now, heels to the ground. Just folding forward over that right leg. Take a breath. We're going to bend that back leg and we're going to just push ourselves back up to a forward fold, bringing that left foot to meet the right. lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms swoop up to the sky. Take a slight back bend if you want. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, bending the knees, arms back up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive, down we go. Inhale, halfway lift, find length, and forward fold, exhale. Beautiful, stepping the right foot back now, finding our high lunge. Hands either side of the foot if you wish, coming up to standing. You can have your hands on your hips or up tall, finding what feels good. Getting our head light hips here, parallel and to the front. Feel yourself rotating around. Left hip crease pushing back, right hip flexor pushing forward. Take an inhale, slight back bend. Exhale, we're coming down. So right hand on the ground in front of the left, sorry, beside the left foot, opening up to the left side. Gaze looking up to the sky, to your fingertips, otherwise to the wall or down to the ground if you're feeling a bit of neck pain today. Beautiful, take an inhale. Now plant that hand back to the ground, step that right foot in a little bit so you can place that heel on the ground. We're straightening out that left leg and we're taking a forward fold. Breathing deep, feeling that stretch. You're welcome to keep a bend in the knee if it's too much for you today, if you're in pain. Always keeping micro bends in our knees, never locking out our legs. So bending in the right leg now, we're going to push ourselves back up to the front, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms up to the sky. Exhale, hand to heart. Inhale, arms up to the sky. Swan dive, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, your version. Exhale, forward fold. Beautiful. Take a moment here to do any nice little movements that feel good for you in your forward fold. You might just want to hang completely relaxed. Might want to sway side to side, straighten one leg and then the other. You may want to stand on your fingers or your hands and take a big stretch, straightening your legs. Completely up to you. When you're ready, we're just going to slowly roll up with control. Stacking vertebrae on top of vertebrae till we meet at the top. Rolling our shoulders and our head last to come up. We're just going to try a little balance today. Something to activate our core and practice our balancing. So starting left foot, spreading your toes as wide as you can, grounding yourself all four corners of the foot. Placing our hands on our hips in prayer, out to the side. I'll leave that completely up to you. And when you've found your drishti, so make sure you've got a focal point in front of you, something that's not going to move, we're going to slowly take the weight out of that right leg. So taking ourselves up into a tree pose. So whether you want to keep your toes on the ground, on your calf, above your knee, never go onto your knee, or you can bring your foot up into that crease of your hip. So finding your drishti, your focal point, Mula Bandha engaged, standing nice and tall. When you feel you've got your balance, we're going to reach down and grab the inside of our foot, and we're going to try and straighten that leg out to the side. So taking our balance. You can counteract your balance if you're feeling a bit wobbly and put your left hand out to the side. Make sure you've got everything engaged in your core. Micro bend in that left knee. Find your drishti. Woo! Try not to talk, doesn't help with balancing. keep that leg bent. If you're just wanting it bent, go ahead. That's still a beautiful, beautiful balancing practice. It doesn't have to be a straight leg. All we want to see is that you are rooted to the ground, you're as strong as a tree trunk, and that you're engaging your core. So when you're ready, slowly bring that leg back into your tree. Try not to drop it to the ground just yet. Take one more breath in your tree pose. And then release with control. Gently put that foot to the ground. Give your legs a shake. We'll do that on the other side. So spreading your toes wide, all four corners of the feet. Foot grounded to your mat. Mullabandha engaged, tailbone tucked under, chest nice and open. Find your focal point. Once you've done that checklist and all of that is engaged, you're ready to take the weight off your left foot. So find your tree, wherever that is today. There's no comparisons, no competitions when we're doing yoga. We do yoga for ourselves, for our body, not because of the person next to us, or they might be doing something that looks good. It doesn't matter. Yoga's not supposed to look good. It's supposed to feel good. So finding your tree, feeling strong. When you feel like you've got your balance, you can take your left hand, grabbing the inside of your left foot. Just take it out to the side. It doesn't matter if it's just there. We're just focusing on practicing a balance here. One leg. If you want to counteract the weight of that leg, you can put your right hand out to the side. Otherwise, find your balance. Knee bent, knee straight, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where it is today. Keeping everything engaged. I just noticed I let go of my belly and I went wobbly. So when you're ready, slowly bring that leg back. Place it back onto the tree pose wherever you had it before. Take another moment here, feeling strong, feeling balanced and grounded. And we release with control. Letting it down to the ground. Gonna give your ankles a little twist. Playing with your toes, rolling your wrists. We're gonna stand back further on our mat now. And take ourselves down into a forward fold. This time keeping our legs straight, but for the micro bend, and just see if we can stretch here. You might want to grab behind your ankles. You might even want to interlace your arms behind your calves, wherever you're at with your practice, on a big, big stretch here down the back of your legs. Take an inhale. Exhale, planting your palms to the earth. We're going to walk them, keeping our legs straight, walking our hands out and finding our downward facing dog. So you can stay still here, find stillness if it feels lovely for you in this position. Otherwise, feel free to just pedal it out, stretching one way then the other. Our right foot into the center. We're going to lift our left leg up. We're not trying to get our leg as high as we can go. What we're trying to do here is keep everything facing the ground. So toes to the earth, hips level. We want to be able to drop that left hip to the earth and make it nice and flat. Take an inhale now, bending that left leg, bringing the weight forward. We're going to take that left foot in and find our pigeon pose. So getting yourself into position, you might need to wiggle that right leg back. A half pigeon here. So sitting up nice and tall, chest open, shoulders looping back and down, neck long. Feeling this stretch through the right hip flexor. See if you can actively push that right hip down towards the ground a little bit more. If this is a bit too much, you're welcome to put a pillow underneath your bottom here on the left side. We're just going to take a breath here, sitting up nice and tall. And on an exhale, walk yourself forward. We won't be holding this one too long. Just feel the stretch. Just going to take one deep breath. And your exhale, pushing yourself back up. Sitting up nice and tall, we're feeling this stretch in our hip flexor, so pushing that right hip flexor down. Sitting tall, inhale, and then going down again for one breath. Pushing ourselves up. Planting our hands strongly on the earth, tucking under those right toes. We're going to push that left leg up, back to our three-legged dog. Okay, pushing back. Look, you may need to move your feet a little bit. And finding that our knees and our toes are pointing towards the ground, our hips are level. This is like an internal rotation of the hip, so we're trying to drop that left hip down. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, back to our downward facing dog. You may want to pedal it out a little bit. We're going to bring the left leg into the center now, lifting our right leg out to our three-legged dog. Everything's pointing down to the ground, making sure our hips are level. Taking a breath. Exhale, bringing that leg through, bending the right leg up and through to a half pigeon on the right. You may need to walk your hands forward a little bit or scoot your left leg back some more. Try to sit nice and tall. Shoulders back and down, belly button to spine, pushing that left hip flexor towards the earth. Neck long. Take an inhale, pushing yourself away. Exhale, we're walking forward for our one breath. Next inhale, pushing yourself back up, walking up and away. Pushing our upper body away from the mat so that our hips are coming forward. Actively trying to rotate this right glute and this right hip down towards the earth. If you need to use your hands just to feel that movement, go ahead. You can put all your weight onto your right leg here and then grab your glute and just push it down. You'll feel it coming down onto the earth. And once we find that, we're sitting up tall, taking that stretch deep into that hip flexor. Take an inhale, sit tall. Exhale once more to the front. One big breath here. Walking ourselves back up now. Planting our hands on the earth, tucking our left toes under, pushing ourselves back into our three-legged dog. Keeping our hips nice and level, internally rotating from that right hip. Inhale, exhale, bring yourself to downward facing dog, pedal it out. We're just going to take one little vinyasa here. So bringing our weight forward, up and over our body into our plank pose. Inhale, exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, nice and slow. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Find stillness here for a breath. our big forward fold now. Gripping behind your ankles if you like to pull yourself down a little bit further. Interlacing your fingers behind your legs, pushing your elbows out wide to bring you closer to your legs. Take an inhale and then release. Generous bend in the knees now. We're going to slowly roll ourselves up, little by little, till we get to the top. Our shoulders go, and then our head comes up. Pick yourself up a little bit here. After all of that, you might want to take a few more shoulder rolls or neck rolls. We're going to take our eagle pose. So if you find it a little bit hard to balance on your yoga mat, feel free to step off your yoga mat onto the floor. It might be easier for you to balance today. We're going to spread our toes on the left, grounding down. We're going to find eagle pose. So bending into that left knee, lifting the right leg. Remember, do our little checklist. Is tailbone tucked under? Is belly button to spine? Have we got our drishti before we start our balance? If you've got that, lift that right leg up and over, finding our eagle pose. Arms go out long to the side. Right arm is coming up and over the left. We are finding our twists. So keeping your drishti here. If you're blocking your view, maybe find something a little bit higher above your hands that you can look at. From here, we're trying to sit down deep, sinking into that left leg, lifting our shoulders, our elbows up from our shoulders and pushing our hands away from our face. Core engaged here, tailbone tucked under. Finding your drishti. Try not to hold in the face, still the jaw. One more inhale. Release the arms and then the legs. Give yourself a little shake. Very good. You can do that on the other side. So right foot now, toes spread wide, finding your grounding, everything engaged in your core. Find your drishti. When you're ready, bending into that right knee. Left leg comes up and over. One side's always going to be harder than the other. But if you can work your way into it, find your drishti. I can't quite get my toes there. Sink a bit lower. Arms out to the side. Left hand on top this time. Swooping your hands around, finding your eagle pose on the left. Core engaged. Elbows now pushing up and hands away. Feeling that stretch down the back from the outside of your shoulder blades and your scapula. Feel your deltoids stretching out, top of your shoulders. Sink a little bit lower. Inhale, releasing the arms and then the legs. Beautiful. Give yourself another little stretch around. I'm going to open the floor up now for you to do one last pose of your choice before we go into our Shavasana. So if there's a part of your body that you feel hasn't been stretched yet or needs to be stretched, go ahead and do that. If you've got an inversion in your practice, go ahead and practice that. Otherwise, just find your last little stretch and then make your way into Shavasana. So if you are suffering from an injury and you have a certain physiotherapy exercise that you know you need to practice daily, use this as the opportunity to do that stretch. If you want to bring in some cushions for your Shavasana, go ahead and do that. While you're doing your last stretch, I'm going to get myself ready for the meditation. Pulling in a blanket or a pillow or something to cover your eyes from the light. Today's meditation is going to be body sensing. So have you ever noticed feeling light and physically relaxed when you're happy? Or noticed sensations of unease in your heart, stomach, or gut when you're upset? These sensations are your body's way of getting your attention so that you can respond to whatever life throws at you with deep inner feelings of wholeness, resilience, and well-being. Body sensing meditation can help you tune into your body as a sensation or a vibration so that you can start to respond. One of the most effective ways to practice this is with the body sensing meditation, a practice to help you feel embodied, in which your physical sensations can inform and change your behaviors and mind. By regularly practicing this, you can calm your central nervous system so that you can achieve deep physical and mental relaxation. You can enhance your body's natural resistancy and resiliency for dealing with stress, and grow your capacity to experience innate, unchanging feelings of health, wholeness, and well-being. So the first part of this practice is just going to be to simply start sensing our hands. So laying in your Shavasana with your hands by your side, palms up to the sky, letting your fingers naturally curl, keeping everything relaxed. Think of your body as a field of energy that extends in all directions, beyond any boundary your mind can imagine. With your eyes closed, bring your attention to your left hand and notice any sensations that are present. And now let go of thinking about your hand. Thinking keeps you in your head, while sensing brings you into the actual sensations that are present as your hand. Notice and welcome sensations of heaviness, lightness, warmth, or cold. Is there tingling, throbbing, or can you even feel your pulse? We're getting out of our mind here. We're just feeling sensations, noticing the vibrations in our hand. Can you notice that your hand is actually just a field of vibrations? Continue feeling this without going into judgment or reacting to what you're sensing. Moving on to our right hand now, feeling yourself inside the right hand. Just as we did with the left, without going into thinking, just experience the actual sensations that are present. Sensing your right hand as a field of vibrations. Is this hand warm or cold? Is it tingling or throbbing? Can you feel your pulse? Feel yourself now inside both of your hands as sensation at the same time. Taking your time. As much as possible, try to refrain from thinking or commenting about the sensation. Instead, just keep feeling your two hands as a unified field of radiant sensation that expands into space. Now that you've practiced doing this with our hands, we're going to move to doing a complete body sensing. So first, Affirm your intention during this practice. This practice of meditation, to focus on sensing rather than thinking. Just as we did with our hands, we'll do now with our body. Feeling the universal life force energy that's enlivening every atom, molecule, and cell of your body as vibrant sensations. As you do this, welcome feelings of peace and groundedness, security and ease, wholeness and well-being. While breathing slowly through your nose, begin sensing your entire body, knowing that whatever you experience is perfect just as it is. Be aware of sensations in your jaw, mouth and tongue. Notice how, as one layer of sensation is experienced, it naturally dissolves and the next layer is revealed. As you welcome sensation, feel the relaxation response that deepens over time and travels to other parts of your body. Sense both ears at the same time as radiant sensation. Sense your cheeks and nose and the sensation in both nostrils. Give up on thinking and sense your eyes as vibrations. Sense your forehead cool and soft, and your scalp and the back of your head and neck. Sense your shoulders, arms, hands and fingers, welcoming both your arms and hands simultaneously as radiant sensation. Bring attention into your upper chest and back, and then your middle chest and back. Bring attention to your abdomen and lower back. Feel your entire torso as radiant vibrations. Let go of thinking. Your entire torso is heavy and at ease. Sense your pelvis, your bum, your hips, and then your thighs, legs, feet, and then toes. Welcome both legs and feet as radiant vibrational sensations. Both legs are completely heavy and at ease. Sensing the entire front of your body and then the entire back half of your body. Sense the left side of your body and then the right side. Feeling the sensation inside of you and then over the surface. Feel yourself as spacious, open, and aware. Focus on feeling your body as vibrations and sensations only, while welcoming feelings of security, groundedness, peace, and well-being. Affirm that sensations of deep relaxation, ease, peace, wholeness, and well-being are accompanying you in every moment. Feel grateful for the opportunity right now to enhance your health, resiliency, and well-being. Take a moment now to just feel. Deepening the breath now. Bringing your awareness back to the body, back to the mind. Finding that intention that you set during your class. The one in the beginning and the one in the middle. Find that intention again. Or if you wish, find a new one. And set that intention in place now for the rest of the day. Taking this feeling of openness, of awareness that we've cultivated in our body, and trying to stay out of our heads too much and just feel the sensations. Once we've set our intention, bring our hands into prayer. My soul recognizes your soul. I honor the light, love, truth, beauty, and kindness within you, because it is also within me. In sharing these things, there is no distance and no difference between us. We are united, we are the same, and we are one. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed today's nice, relaxing class. I hope that it's helped in any pain that you might have been having, anyone who's suffering from sciatica or lower back pain or hips or legs. I hope today's helped you. Please redo this class at any time if you found it helped with your sciatica pain. It may be something you want to do a couple of times a week to just stretch it out. Otherwise, thank you again for sharing your energy with me today on the mat, and Eliza. And we'll see you in 2 days.